If you grew up in a home where love was conditional, withheld, or simply never spoken out loud, you already know this feeling. It's hard to name. It's not quite sadness. It's more like a permanent background noise. A quiet voice that follows you into every relationship, every room, every version of yourself you try to build, whispering, "You are too much," or "You are not enough." And the world doesn't make it easier. People tell you to move on, to stop living in the past, to get over a childhood that ended decades ago. What they don't understand is that psychology has confirmed something profound. When a child grows up without consistent love, the brain doesn't just feel the absence. It rewires around it. And those rewirings follow you silently into adulthood in ways most people never connect back to the source. This isn't about blame. This is about finally understanding yourself. 1. You became an expert at reading rooms. Children who weren't loved unconditionally learned survival. When a parent's mood determined whether the evening was safe or dangerous, your nervous system adapted fast. You became hyper-tuned to microexpressions, tone shifts, and body language. Psychology calls this hypervigilance, and while it looks like anxiety from the outside, it was originally intelligence. Your brain built an early warning system to protect you. This is why you can walk into a room and instantly sense tension that no one else notices, why you always know when something is off even when no one says a word. You weren't born anxious. You were trained to be alert. 2. Love started to feel like something you had to earn. When affection at home came with conditions, your brain made a logical conclusion. I am not loved for who I am loved for what I do. Psychologists call this conditional worth schema, and it quietly runs in the background of everything. Your overworking, your people-pleasing, your inability to rest without guilt. You chase achievement not always because you want the success, but because somewhere deep inside you are still trying to prove you deserve to be here. You were never the problem. The environment was, but a child cannot know that, so they internalize it instead. 3. You struggle to receive love even when it's right in front of you. Here's what almost nobody talks about. When you finally find someone who loves you without conditions, it doesn't feel like relief. It feels suspicious. Research on attachment theory shows that children raised without secure love develop an internal template for relationships. When real love shows up and it doesn't match the template, the brain flags it as a threat. So you self-sabotage. You push people away right before they get too close. You mistake peace for boredom and tension for passion, not because you don't want love, but because your nervous system was never taught that safe love is real love. 4. You became the most self-sufficient person in every room. Because no one was reliably coming, you stopped waiting. You figured things out alone. You solved your own problems, processed your own pain, and built your own world inside your own mind. Psychology calls this compulsive self-reliance, and it is both your greatest strength and your loneliest wound. You are capable in ways that genuinely impress people, but capability became armor, and now asking for help feels like weakness, vulnerability feels like danger, and depending on someone feels like setting yourself up to be abandoned. You didn't choose independence. You were handed it before you were ready. But here is what psychology also tells us, and this part matters. The brain that rewired once can rewire again. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. The patterns you carry aren't life sentences. They are old maps drawn by a child who was just trying to survive. And you are not that child anymore. Every time you choose a relationship where you allow yourself to be seen, you are rewriting the map. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of running, you are rewriting the map. Every time you look at yourself with patience instead of judgment, you are rewriting the map. You did not get the childhood you deserved. That is a real loss and it deserves to be grieved. But your story did not end in that house. You are the proof of that. The most loving thing you can do now is stop abandoning yourself the way others once did. If this gave language to something you felt for years, drop a comment below. You are not alone in this. And if you want more psychology content that finally explains the parts of you that school never could, subscribe, because the next video might be the one that changes everything.